Hello and welcome to this YouTube channel. Here you're going to learn how to crochet various stitches in different forms and styles. In this video, we're going into the basics of crochet, where I'm going to teach you how to crochet 5 basic stitches and how to increase and decrease with the stitches. As a beginner crocheter, the two most important items that you need to get started is a hook and a yarn. You want to start with a medium weight yarn so that you can see your stitches properly, and I'll recommend a 5mm crochet hook. You can also have a scissors and a stitch marker, but these two are the non-negotiables. Since I crochet with my right hand, I usually hold my hook on my right hand, and there are two major ways to hold your hook. There's something called the knife hold, which you hold your hook like you're holding a knife, and your thumb rests on the center, and then the hook part is usually facing you. And then there's another hold called the pencil hold, where you hold your hook like you're holding a pencil. Your thumb rests right there too, but the hook faces up most of the time while you work. So I'll recommend that you try to experiment with these two positions and figure out what's best for you. As for the yarn, I take the tail end of the yarn, and using the working part, I put it in between my pinky and my ring finger and wrap it twice around my index finger, and then I just pinch it with my thumb and my middle finger before I create a slip knot. To create a slip knot, you simply make a crisscross like that, put your fingers through and grab the working yarn. Pull that working yarn through that loop, and there you've created a slip knot. Now grab your hook and insert it into that slip knot, and then we're just going to adjust that slip knot around the hook so that it fits nice and loose. You don't want it to be too tight and you don't want it to be too loose. Now to create a chain, you simply use the hook to scoop up the yarn and you pull it through the loop on the hook. And that's how you create a chain, and I'm going to demonstrate that one more time here. Use the hook, pick up some yarn, and then pull through the loop that is already existing on the hook. So there are two ways to do this. You can either use your left hand to wrap the yarn around the hook and pull it through, or you use your right hand to bend the hook to scoop it up, and then you pull it through. So those V's that you see there are your chains, and the more you practice this, the better you get at it. Try not to make your chains too tight or too loose, just like that. To create the first row on top of the foundation chain, I'm going to flip my foundation chain over to the back, and we're going to walk into those little back bumps that you see sticking out there, as this method gives your work a cleaner finish. So insert your hook into the second back bump that you see there, and then pull your yarn through. You have 2 loops on the hook. You grab the yarn and then you pull it through the 2 loops on the hook, and just like this, you've created a single crochet. I'm going to repeat this. Insert the hook into the back bump and pull up a loop. With 2 loops on the hook, grab some yarn with the hook and pull through those 2 loops. And this is how you create a single crochet. Now we skipped one back bump at the beginning because the turning chain for a single crochet is 1 chain. When you've created a row of single crochet, this is what it should look like. And now I'm going to show you how to work on top of this. So you make 1 chain and then you turn your work by flipping the work like that. One more time, flip it after creating your 1 chain. And that's how you turn your work. And now we're going to walk into those stitches that we just created. So when you look at it, you can see that there are V's at the top, just like our chains, there were V's at the top. So now we're going to go underneath those V's insert the hook and scoop up the yarn. Grab the yarn and pull through the 2 loops on the hook. And that's how you work into single crochets. You go underneath the 2 V's of the stitch, and then you scoop up the yarn, and then you grab the yarn and pull through the 2 loops that are on the hook. And this is how you create a single crochet. It's a very simple stitch. It's not a tall stitch, and that's why we chained 1 at the beginning to begin the second row. And this is what it looks like after a few more rows of single crochet. To work the double crochet, we're going to start by making 2 chains. And this is because the double crochet is a taller stitch compared to the single crochet, so we require 2 chains for our turning chain. If you were working over your foundation stitch, you would skip 2 chains before working your first stitch. So once you've created your 2 chains, now we can flip the work over to create our first double crochet. To create the double crochet, we start by yarning over, that is, you wrap the yarn around the hook 1 time before inserting it into the stitch. So wrap the yarn around the hook and then insert it into the first stitch and then pull up the yarn. Right now, you should have 3 loops on the hook. Now we're going to grab some yarn and pull it through 2 loops out of those 3 loops. With 2 loops left on the hook, we're going to grab the yarn again and pull through those 2 loops on the hook. And this is how you create a double crochet. As you can see, it's a taller stitch, and I'm going to demonstrate this one more time. So wrap the yarn around the hook, insert your hook into the stitch and pull up a loop. With 3 loops on the hook, grab some yarn and pull through 2 loops. Grab some yarn and pull through the last 2 loops on the hook. And this is how you create a double crochet. To make the half double crochet, we start the row by making 1 chain. Because the half double crochet is not as tall as the double crochet, we need 1 chain for our turning chain. Now flip your work, and we start the half double crochet similarly to the way we start our double crochet, by wrapping the yarn around the hook 1 time before inserting it into the stitch. After you've inserted it, you scoop up some yarn, and then you have 3 loops on the hook. Now we're going to grab the yarn and pull through all the 3 loops on the hook. And this is how you work a half double crochet. To demonstrate this one more time, you yarn over, and then you insert your hook into the stitch and scoop up the yarn. With 3 loops on the hook, grab the yarn and pull through all the loops. And there you've created a half double crochet. To make the treble crochet, we're going to start by making 3 chains. And then turn your work. And now we're going to yarn over 1 time. Use your index finger to hold the yarn, and then yarn over a 2nd time. Now insert your hook into the stitch and pull up the yarn. With 4 loops on the hook, grab some yarn and pull through 2 loops. Grab yarn again and pull through 2 loops. Grab the yarn and pull through the last 2 loops. One more time, wrap the yarn around the hook 2 times, and then insert your hook into the stitch and pull up the yarn. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. The treble stitch requires you to make 3 chains at the beginning as your turning chain because it is a taller stitch than the double crochet. And you can even make taller stitches than the treble crochet. All you have to do is increase your turning chains and increase the number of times that you wrap the yarn around the hook before inserting it into the stitch. And this is what the treble crochet looks like after working 1 row. To work the slip stitch, we're going to start by making 1 chain for our turning chain and then turn our work to the other side. And now we're just going to insert the hook into the stitch, just like we start the single crochet, and then pull up the yarn. 2 loops on the hook, and now we're going to pull the second chain through the first one. One more time, I'm going to insert my hook, scoop up the yarn, and just pull it through the loop that is already on the hook. A slip stitch is a very small stitch. It is used to join stitches together and is also used to create a ribbed effect when working. So it's a very tiny stitch. It is even smaller than the single crochet. And this is how you work it. So now we have come to the end of this video where you have learned how to work 5 basic crochet stitches. So stay tuned for the next video where I show you how to increase and how to decrease with these crochet stitches. I'll have a blog post on my blog. I'll have the link in the description box if you want to check this out, where there's more details on how to do this. I'll see you in my next video. If you learned something, please consider subscribing to the channel and give me a like and comment if there's any questions that you have. Bye.